Hello and welcome back to Distant Worlds 2. We are continuing our Atuuk playthrough, and things went very well last episode. We ended up just completely demolishing these guys and beating them back quite a ways, knocking out a bunch of their fleets. I think we destroyed them at a more than 10-to-1 ratio. I have to turn that off. That's crazy. It destroyed them at more than a 10-to-1 ratio, which was definitely put us ahead. I will say, between episodes, I retrofitted a bunch of my ships, so that means construction-wise, we're gonna have a lot of retrofitting happening right now, which is gonna put us a little bit behind, but that is all right. What I will do is kind of rebuild my fleets. I want to reposition my fleets. I want to get them more in this general area, so that we can start pushing in on this territory over here in our next war. But for now, we're just going to be retrofitting and kind of rebuilding these fleets, because some of them are pretty banged up and are missing some ships. So we'll get those repairs done. We'll get all that taken care of. I do want to build some more fleets as well, particularly invasion fleets would be a good idea. The other thing I did between episodes, nice little bonus there. The other thing I did between episodes was I went through and I recruited a ton of people. I went through all the prisoners and just recruited as pretty much as many as I could find. So we mostly recruited everybody but generals. So we recruited a bunch of ambassadors, spies, admirals. There's a ton of admirals that were really high quality. So let's go under admirals here. Like, some of these guys are crazy bonuses, so hopefully that'll help bolster our military strength even further. And now what we need to do is just kind of reposition our fleets here. So defense fleets, I think we'll focus on them for a little bit. Defense fleets can hang back. I want them to kind of cover our territory. And they seem like I do want the capital covered, so I'm going to leave one of these up there. I don't need all of them up there. I don't think I need to defend this area too much. All right, your normal coverage is over there. All right, so let's get Defense Fleet 6 and move that up to like here. I think this would be a good spot for them. Oh, this guy's doing quite a little bit of repair there. It always looks worse than it actually is. When you look at their health, like, you see all this red and you're like, oh, it's like nearly destroyed. But then it's like 78% health, but it's got full shields and armor, so fine. We did complete, and I should probably build these sooner than later. We did get the world ship, and we did get a new transport ship, military transport ship. So let's go ahead and build that up. Let's see, this is the world ship, which is way bigger. Let's auto generate a hole for that. Call that W1. Put this by type. We could sunset that colony ship. Don't need that anymore. And then the transport, the expedition transport, we're just going to retrofit those again. Let's take a quick gander here. Right. the army transport is the biggest one. It's only slightly bigger than the one we just had. Right, I think we're all good as far as that goes. Transport A1. We have some space. So let's go ahead and throw a multi-vector engine on there just to help with like mobility there. Do I need anything else? I don't think so. We do have 2 spaces left, so I think a large troop compartment and another splinter pod. Huh, splinter pods aren't in the list. Are the assault pods better somehow? No, they're just worse. It just considers them newer tech. Okay. So when I do latest per category, it doesn't show. Interesting, because the auto design utilizes that. Okay, so they're squeeze an extra troop compartment means we can carry more troops. Always a good thing. That will retrofit and things will be gravy. All right, there we go. I do not think we want all those retrofit messages. 15,000 research output, which is crazy. All right, our defense fleets are positioned the way we want them. Now we got to get our attack fleets ready to go. I can't believe this guy's still over in this area. All right, I'm going to put 2 of them over here. 2 of them over in this system. Ah, we're starting to found those new colonies. Forgot about all those ice planets we were colonizing. All right, let's put some in Marabi. I did adjust my spies to recruit and attack and do all sorts of other crazy stuff. So we're just going to keep going with that. Put some of these guys, like at least 1 fleet here in Yaris. We could put, I'm going to put 2 over here. Well, maybe. I don't really need any attack fleets back over here anymore. Now these little attack fleets, I got to position them as well. They got to be closer to the action. All right, looks like these guys are kind of already positioned in this general area. This feels like a good staging system because there's so many planets. All right, let's put a bunch of stuff over here. I think we had 1 from over here. Getting a couple defense fleets over here would be a good idea. We only have a couple micro defense fleets, so they might push over this way. So it might be worth parking a defense fleet over here. And then where do I want the last one? I'm not worried about this side pretty much at all. Maybe I should have at least one here, just in case they push up over in this direction. I don't think they will, but it'd be good to have them just in case. Okay, so everybody's positioned, although they're in the process of retrofitting, so they're not gonna move immediately or anything. It looks like advanced cruisers will be done shortly, and then we can kind of redesign our cruisers. I'd prefer to wait for advanced fleet targeting, but we'll see what we can do. No independent colonies to worry about at the moment. What type of pirates are lingering? Or are there any pirates lingering? Should be somewhere. Let's be as zoomed out as we can. Okay, so they're mostly down here. Yeah, that's way far down there. Nothing in our immediate vicinity to worry about, so I guess I really don't have to worry about the pirates. Battleship. Get that done while we have the research. Right, their fleets are all kind of retreating back. They're doing something here. Psychic energy. Looks like they are forming an agreement with these guys. They're tiny, though. I'm not worried about them becoming buddies. I should probably just attack them almost immediately. Try to wipe them out early before they become a problem. Looks like they have been expanding. So they're up to 4 colonies. Right, retrofitting is almost done. 67 ships left to build. Civilian ships are not going too crazy. So our income must be offsetting whatever needs to be done there. Mining locations. Yeah, there's nothing too crazy that we need to jump on. We've been short on Aculon this entire game, which is shocking to me. All right, our troop attack strength is scaling up nicely. Fleet command ships are done. That means battleship. I still don't want to retrofit those other ones yet. Let's go ahead and get a battleship up and running. That gives a little more hull size. And what did we do with that hull size? Looks like forge rail batteries. All right. So this has fleet targeting stuff. So maybe we don't need to put that other stuff on there. It's a slow ship, though. All right. Let's obsolete that. All right. Looks like these guys are all in the process of retrofitting. What's the planet situation here? Looks like we still got a decent amount to colonize. Sort by suitability. Somehow, even though they're suitable, they're down here. Interesting. I'm debating if it's worth going for all the plus 20 colonies. They'll never be better, but with terraforming, it'll get over 20. It says net drain, but I think ultimately it will be worth it. I think we're getting close to getting into another war with these guys. I really just want these ships to finish loading up and moving around to wherever they need to move around to. Just going to take a little while for all the construction yards to finish what they're doing. They are moving quicker, though. We did research that tech that makes it a little bit quicker. All right. Do we still have exploration ships? Yeah, they're surveying. Are they attacking me? All right, let's see. Archive. I mean, we gotta research. Can he get out of there, or is he gonna get blown up? All right, so they attacked it. They attacked us. All right, commit to research. We do not have too many random ships flying around. Looks like we took out another pirate faction. Think that makes us kind of the good guys? We're good enough guys. All right, this is the wrong species for this planet. I don't know why we colonized it like this. Speaking of which, I mean, we probably grabbed it because of the Hexadorium, I would imagine. But let's go to colonies and let's design an ice planet because we do not have the population set for that. I think it's just resettling pretty much everybody. Except for Naxilum, which we don't even have. I think Naxilum and the... what you call it are the only appropriate species for Ice Xenox. All right, let's apply to all Ice Tundra. And then I think there's also Ice Moon, which needs to be the same. All right, that's all Ice Colonies. Hopefully, yeah, migration's not going to happen here, and we're not going to be able to up this. Got to be above 0. Maybe if I retrofit it, it'll get above 0, and then we can do the changeover, or terraform, I mean. Maybe we'll have to go that route. All right, we killed pirates. That makes people happier. Use our money to crash research as much as possible. Take advantage of the resources we got. Here we go, colonizing ice planets with the Caro again. I do not know why. All right, we can see a lot of retrofitting still going on. So we definitely can't move forward with the war until that's done. These guys have to load troops. There's a bunch that don't have troops. Although we have sufficient to, you know, kind of get us by. I don't think I actually set locations for the troop transports. Those are the ones that have to be close to the borderlands. All right, you're there. Feel like we can get some down here. All right, 5 and 6 are there. Let's get 7 over here somewhere. What is this guy doing? You clearly have to refuel from your fuel tankers. That's insane. I don't know what they're doing. All right, you're in this general area. You'll be fine. Let's come over here and get this building built. All right, Xenox history. That'll make the Xenox just a little bit happier. And temporarily bump up our reputation, which we don't really need right now, but it's fine. All right, looks like we got a couple of research bases we could build here. All already in our territory. All right, the good news about these techs is they're version 2, so we don't have to retrofit anything. They'll just automatically be the new version. Still a lot of retrofitting going on. We did not build new versions of the cruisers, I don't think. We just got the long-range cruiser, which is fine, but the size is smaller. I think patrol cruiser is the equivalent. Right, the fleet command cruiser, I think, is a little bit different. This is the one I want to put those fleet systems on. And then I also want to, one of these shield bays, I want to put the, like, area shields. Is that something I can do? Maybe I don't have that tech yet. I thought I already had it. Alright, well, I guess we'll just hold on this for now. Yeah, remote shield recharging. That's what I want. Alright, we'll add that to the pile. We also need better military. We're going to be doing ground invasions. I'd like to improve the quality of our folks here. All right, looks like we got through all the battleship retrofitting, and now we're working on troop transport retrofitting. I'm going to up it to 4x just to burn through this a little bit quicker. Hopefully we get to the point where all of our fleets are positioned, and then we can go declare some more war. Oh, severe battleship damage. That's not cool. All right, they have like little ships that are just harassing me. I don't like that. Tear in space. Okay. So they're just bringing in more stuff. Oh, yeah. That's the scout ships coming in. More colony ships. All right, sooner than later, we're going to have to deal with them as a threat. All right, this is 6 years, but I think we do need to get it done. Well, we'll crash research. That'll make it half the time. We do need to make some progress towards this, I think. All right, I feel like we're somewhat stable on those techs. Let's go down to this area where we really haven't pushed a lot of research. Some of these are pretty cheap still, so let's queue those up. I'd like to get these, but 4 years is a little bit of a long time at the moment. Regional governance, maybe that should be higher on the list. It's only a year and a half, so hopefully. Oh, declared war on the Shakturi, huh? All right, you go. Good luck with that. Oh, it looks like we're trying to steal some stuff from the Shakturi. All right, I don't know where these planets came from. I mean, did we not have them before? Why was their suitability not good enough to colonize? Weird. Just a lot of weird stuff with the way some of it works. All right, let's talk to the Shakturi. Maybe we can get some of our spies back. All right, now we'll go for all 3, I guess. Does that count as a gift? Interesting. I did switch over to multiply grade direction. The research one went away. Figured we got a lot of planets that have smaller populations like these. So let's try to get those converted as much as possible. I want to get these facilities done so we can terraform and then do this upgrade. I don't know why it put the populations on there that it did, because we have Xenox and they're much better suited for ice planets. Dangerous alliance. Set a spy. I mean, I could always just... All right, investigate the pulses. That's the ancients. Get those vaults. Send an ambassador. Although I'll be honest, I'm not really that concerned. You could always just wipe him out. I don't think anybody would care if we wipe them out. Be done with it. They're kind of tucked away over here, so it would not necessarily be an easy move. Oh. Alright, well, it looks like they're moving in on the Atuuk over there. Which, I mean, that's fine if you want to do that. Not a fan of the expansion. We gotta go to war relatively soon. The troop transport's almost done. Looks like there's just a couple more. Oh, you took over one of their planets. That's interesting. So you got some Shakturi. I see some Shakturi on our horizon. Alright, these guys... Looks like they're just destroying a bunch of... I'm actually shocked they can get in there and do this. Never mind. They just got annihilated all of a sudden. Alright, I gotta imagine we'll move into those spots relatively soon. The remote shield recharging, as soon as that's done. Alright, I guess we'll flag them. Let them go over there and attack that stuff. Alright, I'm mostly saving up cash right now. I know we're gonna need to build more fleets. Alright, most of our fleets should be done. Yeah, now they're back to just loading troops, which is exactly what I want to see. Might as well send our fleets in to explore and destroy these Rift Striders while we're waiting for the invasion fleets to stock up on troops. We're also going to add a little bit to our fleets because I want the remote shield recharging to go on a like fleet command ship, and then I need to add that to the fleets. All right, let's add a new fleet command cruiser. And I do want to add the area shield recharge to that. Even if I have to take a couple weapons off this guy, they're not really here for attacking, they're here for support. Fleet targeting, fleet countermeasures. I'm going to take off one of these Titan blasters as well. And then let's add a multi-vector engine on there. All right, this is latest design for, well, we'll just say it upgrades to none because we don't want anything upgrading that. And then let's revisit our fleet. And then we want to add a couple cruisers. And we want to add the fleet command cruiser. I think it's time to change this to 30% of fuel range. All right, we are going to add some cruisers to this. Not much, just 6 total. And we're leaving these at 300 meter or million miles or whatever the M stands for. For the micro fleets, and the other ones we'll let them go a little bit further. Yeah, you guys are set to 40% of fuel range, so that should be fine. You blah blah blah. Okay. I'm a little afraid that it's retrofitting everything. I wanted to add cruisers, but I did not want to retrofit them. Well, let's just build out what we can. All right, there we go. Hopefully those will construct relatively quick. We'll go with stronger just because we know that's what we're gonna end up doing next. And we're definitely, something is wrong here where it's retrofitting all of my patrol cruisers. Yeah, we don't want. We want those to stay the same. So those will, I assume, fix themselves. All right, another new colony. I like that. Expanding internally. Still don't understand why that didn't show up as an option earlier. Maybe we just didn't have enough of that population or something. Maybe the Wakaris weren't good enough and we needed the other guys. Oh, it stopped retrofitting all those ships. That's great. And the question is, will it move those back to the way they were? Doesn't look like it. That's fine. We'll be okay. All right, this invasion fleet is locked and loaded, ready to go. This one's close. Not quite there, but close. I did think I talked about getting this regional governance done sooner than later, so let's go ahead and bump that up the list. Yeah, this would be a huge upgrade. Hey, they took another Shakturi planet. Now, I could go to war with them and take that planet and then get Shakturi in my empire without actually directly attacking the Shakturi. The thought. I mean, they are already mad at us. Well, they're running away. Interesting. All right, these guys are really angry at us. We gotta probably go to war with them pretty soon. If anything, just to knock them out. Oh, hello. Psychic skills of the Wakaris. They executed. Wow. That doesn't happen that often. There's just apparently lots of troop harassment in some of these systems. When these guys land here, they're gonna get absolutely annihilated. And then they're gonna get mad at me for it, even though they're coming into my system. Not exactly fair. Oh, look at those torpedoes. Just demolished. Yeah, jump blocked. He ain't going nowhere. All right. Well, I mean, they want to keep doing that stuff. That's on them. Right, these guys are pretty close to maxed out. So we have like 3 invasion fleets that are virtually maxed out, and 2 more that are close. I like that these guys are harassing the Shakturi. It keeps them occupied, and I don't have to worry about it. They are trying to destroy their fleets, which isn't always working. Alright, so they've conquered a couple different Shakturi planets. Although they've taken some back, it looks like. Alright, so that facility, yeah, they must be retrofitting, because look at our revenue, how it just dropped like a rock. My guess is all of those planetary facilities are in the middle of retrofitting to the latest version. Yeah, the under construction. So as soon as those are done, this is gonna ramp up even more. I do feel like it would benefit us to get the Shakturi under our belt. So maybe, because these guys are not really that big of a problem. I mean, they're kind of a problem, but not a huge problem. Maybe I go to war with these other guys instead. Try to take out as much of their stuff as possible. I didn't even check to see if they had allies. They did not, apparently. So let's go ahead and target their colonies. I mean, I really just want these planets first. These are the ones I want more than anything. And I don't think those were in the list. Wait, why are those colonies? They have somebody else on there. Those aren't even the right planets. What the heck? I filtered by... Oh no. The filtering's broken. That's not good. It is not what I want at all. All right, let's get our fleets to stop doing whatever they were doing. Terrible. Can I just select multiple fleets? No. All right, we'll just go through and stop them real quick. All right, that should be good. Let's try this again. Can we... War targets, colonies. There we go. There, now hopefully we fill in. I'm gonna up this to 30% of fuel range on these attack fleets. I feel like they just aren't quite able to reach where they need to reach. Especially because I keep repositioning. Oh. Felt like that shrunk your range. Interesting. Maybe Low on fuel or something? I don't know. Sleeping alien race. Millions of sleeping Shandars. Okay. Were Shandars volcanic? They were. Massive colony development there. That's crazy. All right, let's flag that for invasion. That was us invading those planets, I think. Yes. All right, well, we got the Shandar in our system now. Okay, you are under our control, which means you are not going to be under the enemy control. All right, we're to the point where enhanced habitability will really benefit us, so let's focus a little bit on that. We have too many outposts. All right, looks like we got some carbonaceous planets we can potentially build on. And if we get there first, that means the Shakturi can't. That puts us in a better position. Anything that's in our territory, I think I will focus on for now. It is a lot of colony ships. My guess is the Shakturi are gonna kind of tap out before then, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. All right, let's go back to our war targets and see where we are at. Still a lot of staging and not a lot of invading. I am tempted to go to peace with these guys. I mean, I really don't care about taking all their planets right now. I'd rather have them around to harass the Shakturi. I just wanted to capture those 2 planets indirectly from the Shakturi. All right, let's see. Do you want peace? You do not want peace yet. Okay. Well, we'll give it a little bit of time. I'm going to build 3 new invasion fleets because I feel like that's where our shortcomings are right now. Let's see. Invasion fleet. That gets us 8, 9, and 10. Now, it looks like they're piling in over here again. Which is fine by me if they take this. Looks like we're invading another colony here. Zeskid. Looks like we can upgrade this as well. I don't know why that would have been an outpost with more talons being plus 54. Seems kind of crazy to me. It looks like there's only one planet that's not. It's even closer. I'm surprised that's not considered in range. Maybe it's just because everything else is already occupied. I really don't want to bombard any planets if I don't have to. I don't know why these guys are just hanging out over here. If either attack them or don't, one or the other. They could invade that and take it really quickly. Like even with those troops right there. All right, well, if we can go that deep, we could definitely invade a planet that's right here on the border. Looks like we got some troops already lining up to invade their capital. Yeah, maybe we're not going to leave them alone. Maybe we're just going to take them out. Improved habitability is done. Take a quick gander at the outposts we had. This can be upgraded to a full planet, which I imagine will have all of the appropriate migration stuff assigned. Want to look at the outposts that can be upgraded. Again, just the wrong species here, I think. Now they're eager to end the war. Well, I want to take their capital first. No, invade immediately. Did I change that setting for the new ones? I don't think I did. I wish that would be the default setting. Invade immediately. It's so much better. Don't have to wait for anything to get cleared out. Alright, colonies sorted by population. Let's scroll to the bottom. So here's a Shakturi colony we must have just recently colonized. Making sure we got all the appropriate buildings getting built. Happiness will help with expansion. Alright, good for now. They will eventually build it on their own, it just takes a while. Alright, somehow this planet has not been oh, let's start bombarding it maybe? Everybody already hates us, so we might as well. You know, I don't want to destroy this. All right, where's the closest invasion fleet? I just want to take this over. And be done with it. But you're right there. Yeah, just go invade this one instead. Alright, we're going with smarter. My favorite direction. Just 30% bonus to research. It's awesome when you have a massive deficit. Alright, there we go. The push is real. Let's be done with this planet. Perfect. Alright, you are back on invade. I mean, easy war mission. Just defend a station that's nowhere near it. They're down to their last planet. And we've already kind of secured it. So why is it not auto-invading? I mean, I get these guys, they're out of range, but maybe that's the problem. Almost everybody's out of range. Everybody that's in range doesn't have enough troops. Got it. All right, we'll manually load these troops, and we're going to send them manually over here just to finish this off and be done. And that'll be one less person to deal with. We are at 60%. We're getting there. I do kind of want to take out the Shakturi, but I want them to get a little stronger. Have a little challenge with them. They're still growing. But don't you worry, this war will be ending. Alright. Time to land some troops on the planet. And this will be the end of the certain totality. Oh, there's Nexilin on here. All right, time for a long load time while it calculates the destruction of a empire. got to reassign all their ships and do all that crazy stuff. Yeah, I don't like bombarding because it destroys the facilities. I'd rather just invade, and even if our troops get injured, they'll heal up eventually. Okay, they are destroyed. Colony is ours. Switch them back to invade. Let them load their troops back up. We'll be good to go. Like nothing ever happened. A lot of colony ships flying out there, though. I hope we have enough happy Shakturi to make those changes. I also want to flag any of these that are now part of our empire, because we just took over all of their space. I don't know for sure if we by default take over all of their mining stations. Oh, Shakturi declared war on us. Okay, well, I guess that's a thing. I'm definitely going to build as many of these mining stations as I can. I think it just makes sense to do that. All right, we're already way over time, so I'm not going to be going to war with the Shakturi in this episode, but in the next episode, I'm sure we will start doing some damage to them. Let's go ahead and just clear out as much as we can. Do you think it's kind of silly that they decided to go to war with me? Especially while they're still relatively weak. Just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But I think I'm going to do between episodes, I'm just going to increase the range of all of my fleets to, I don't know, maybe 40% of fuel range. Because some of these I feel like they should be able to reach, but they just can't. And it's because of where they're stationed. But if I up their range, they're more likely to be able to get in there. I could also reposition them, but I just don't want to, because ultimately we're going to go to war with those other guys, and I don't want to just move everything back shortly afterwards. Defense, I feel like they're fine for the most part. Invasion fleets are okay. Might up those to 40% just because ultimately will allow us to get a little deeper into enemy territory. Okay, those were already set to that. All right, we'll leave these guys all on whatever. They're smaller attack fleets, so don't have to worry too much about them. All right, we'll call it there for the day. Next episode, we'll take out the Shakturi and hopefully get some tech from their stuff. I'd like to capture some of their ships. That'd be nice. But even if we don't, we could get the debris and maybe make some progress there. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, see more content in the future. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.